I just found out you died. Did he die?
Yeah, just they couldn't save him.
What am I gonna do? This can't be real.
Meet the wife of 34-year-old Terrell Adams, Charlotte, who has just found out that Terrell killed her secret lover. Now as she sells out her own husband to the cops.
He literally shot at somebody. He just killed the one person that understood me. He killed him.
Terrell will lose it once he realizes his life is over.
I'm gonna go away for a really long time. Everything's gonna be gone when I come back.
On November 10th, 2022, law enforcement in Athens, Georgia were flooded with 911 calls. Little did they know, one of those calls would lead to an hours-long standoff, a heartbreaking confession, and a twisted secret coming to light.
I just shot somebody. I didn't kill her. I shot the guy. I just shot myself.
Okay, what happened? What happened?
I caught her cheating.
Winford Terrell Adams, who goes by Trey, was an active deputy with the Madison County Sheriff's Office, and with this call, he admitted to the world that he was a criminal. Police rushed to the address he provided, which was the home of 26-year-old Benjamin Lloyd Cloyer, a wildly smart graduate student with a love of the outdoors, hiking, and technology. Lloyd, as he liked to be called, had a bright future ahead of him. But when police arrived at his house, he was nowhere to be found. Instead, they discovered Trey on the porch, a weapon in hand, and a tense standoff began.
Put the gun on the ground!
Drop the gun on the ground!
Drop the gun! Drop the gun, sir! Sir, drop the gun! Just drop the gun! Just drop the gun! Just drop the gun! And we can talk! Drop the gun and we can talk! No,
Central
just
side,
drop
stand
the gun and we can talk!
Drop the gun!
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
He's going on the other side of the car.
Get the tree cover. Get the tree cover. Lester, switching. Put it down! Take this. Turn this. Go for the right. Put it down! Drop it! No, go in the house! We can't help you!
We can't help you if you go inside.
Drop the... Then drop the gun, then we can talk! We can't help him if you've got a gun in.
Where is it?
Come on! We're not gonna go over there with you standing there with a gun! You need to drop the gun so we can do other work! Shit.
Send more.
Ma'am.
Central, send us more.
After an hour-long standoff, law enforcement finally managed to get Trey in cuffs and bring him to the station. But it wasn't his interview that would draw the most attention. It was his wife's. The following footage was provided to us via FOIA request from the Athens Clark County Police.
I wanted to talk to you first, because you don't have a lot of answers to a lot of questions, so you have to help fill in the blanks, okay? Sorry, that's her brother. I called him after. He was like worried that Trey would get out of jail and he was going to want me to go back to the house. Well, I mean, obviously if Trey gets out of jail, that makes sense, but... Where did Trey grow up at? Swanee, Georgia. We both kind of grew up there. Did I stay in Swanee, Georgia, or you say Commerce? Until I was... Well, Trey... Well, we moved to Statesboro. Well, I moved to Statesboro in like 2009, 2010. And then we moved to register in like 2016 or 2017.
Where?
Registered Georgia. The middle of nowhere, pretty much.
That's 2013. When did y'all get married?
Maybe it was like 20. That's more like 2016.
Okay, when did y'all get married?
June 2016. That doesn't make any sense. So that must have been more like, because we moved there after we got married, then we moved back to our one bedroom. Then after that, then we moved, so that's right. Yeah. Wait, but we got married, so this is more like 2017 then.
I got married in 2016.
Oh, congratulations.
Huh?
Oh, I thought you said you got married.
No, I was asking you.
Oh, we did. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we did. I'm not that great with dates, obviously.
Somehow, excitedly congratulating the investigator on her non-existent wedding is about the least cringeworthy thing that Charlotte does in this interrogation. Not even knowing the year that you got married doesn't bode well for your relationship or your credibility.
You all have been staying at your aunt's house.
I did it.
Okay, for some time.
Yeah, for like over a year now.
Okay.
Since like February.
Mhm.
18.
Okay. Now, where does Trey work currently?
Oh, I guess not anymore, but he worked at Madison County Sheriff's Department as a sheriff's deputy. And they're literally so short-handed that, like, nobody can be fired right now. So.
And he's been working how long there?
He's been working there. He got hired there like 2 months before I got hired at my job. So that was like November. So maybe it was like 4 months before that. Like, I don't know.
Was it this year? Last year?
It was last year.
Okay. Tell me about tonight.
When Trey got home, I was trying to get out of there real quick, but he was right there in the driveway, and so anyway, but I just told him that, like, I was going to go eat dinner, and I would be right back. And I was. Lloyd invited me over to his house for ribs. So I was going to go over there, and I thought probably some of our AI people would show up, because Lloyd knows this dude who's on the AI team,
No, first of all, who's Lloyd?
Lloyd is my friend.
Okay.
Who got shot
Okay.
by Trey.
Okay, now what is his full name?
Lloyd Clower. It's Lloyd. Last name is Cloer.
Lloyd Okay, how long have you been knowing him?
Like a year. Like, I've known Lloyd. But Trey is so possessive and controlling and doesn't want me talking to guys. And I know it's just to protect me, but I get along with guys better than I get along with girls. So I ended up meeting Lloyd and just, I just talked to him about stupid stuff, like, not stupid stuff. I talked to him about everything because we're friends, but also we're on the same wavelength.
Okay, y'all not lovers?
No. Not at all.
You're platonic friends.
Literally platonic friends.
Okay.
Like, literally never kissed him, never did anything with him, we never even went anywhere with that.
Okay.
That's just like.
Does Trey know Lloyd?
No. Trey doesn't know him.
Never met him?
Never met him.
How old is Lloyd? Do you know his birthday?
He's like 25. I don't know his birthday. Yeah. I mean, it's not like I go over to Lloyd's house every day. I mean, I've been over there like 5 times.
Just in case you missed it, she is literally not having an affair with Lloyd, and they are literally literally platonic with one another. which is precisely why she stated that she was trying to get out of the house real quick to secretly meet up with Lloyd. I don't know about you, but lying to your spouse about having a rendezvous at a younger man's house doesn't give me confidence that we're dealing with the most credible witness.
Tonight she said she was going out with some AI people, is what she said.
What is AI?
I'm assuming artificial intelligence, because she works at UGA.
Okay.
And, but she said she was going to go get food. Well, I actually looked at her location to see where she was going, only because I've been sick today and I was hungry. And if she was going somewhere, I was going to act discreetly and bring something back.
Right.
And I saw she was there.
She didn't tell you where she was going to get something to eat?
She just said she was going to go meet the AI people and they were having dinner.
Trey had every reason not to trust that his wife was lying about going to an AI party. For starters, it doesn't sound like that's the kind of stimulating conversation she was looking for when she snuck over to Lloyd's house. And secondly, as you'll soon learn, this isn't the first instance where his wife's behavior has been fishy, to say the least.
What is an AI party?
I'm glad you asked because I didn't know.
What is an AI
I
party?
just made it up. It's like, we really got together and we just talked about like the artificial intelligence stuff that they're studying. And,
Okay.
I mean, it was literally almost like getting together with your work friend. I mean, that's how I view Lloyd. He's a work friend. He's been to yoga with me. He's a yoga friend.
Okay.
You know, it's like,
Okay, so when you had told Trey that you were going to leave and get something to eat and come right back, what time was that?
oh, I don't know. I mean, Lloyd's house is like 20 minutes away, so.
What time were we called? Do you know?
It was about 7:30.
Okay.
Well, I have a message to Lloyd saying I'm on my way. I could look up.
So you had talked to Lloyd.
Active.
What do you
So
mean?
he's okay, Lloyd. His little spot is on.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Like the green light is on his messenger, and
Okay.
that must mean he's on it, right?
Does that mean he's looking at Messenger right now?
Hopefully.
Okay, so
Because I
What
was
time did you-
worried that he did.
what time
Okay,
did you text Lloyd? And had you all previously talked about meeting up and having something to eat or hooking up or whatever today?
Yeah.
Did he know
Right
you were coming
here. 5:09. What have you been up to? Cooking ranch homework, waiting for this girl to message me. His other girlfriend. Not other, but his girlfriend. He has girlfriends because he's single. You know, it's not like that. Like, we talk about, like, girls together. Like, it's
Okay.
not. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's fine.
I'm just
trying to get a timeline.
Okay, so 5:09 is when we talked about it. And then at 5:38, I caught my rabbit and put him back in their hutches so I could come over. So I would say, and he's like, okay, so on way. So I would say I left at like 6 or 6:30 and got to Lloyd's house by 7. Because I mean, we lived.
How long
I
had you
lived
been
like
there
20
before
minutes.
everything happened? Had you just gotten there? Had you been there for an hour?
It had not been an hour.
Okay.
All we talked about was his girlfriend. What else? Like, I told him about Trey's sort of old girlfriend, but I just called her his girlfriend. But we had a fight like years ago about this girl that Trey worked with, which is the one who he called tonight, who was calling me, who I guess called to have his truck towed. So,
Okay.
I mean, we talked for like 20 minutes, you know?
Okay. So the text messages started around 5:09.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'd only eaten 4 ribs, and then I was like, Trey, like, when I got to Lloyd's house, I only had time to talk to him a little bit for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I ate like 4 ribs.
Okay, so you got there, you think around 7, you said?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I feel like I had just got there. But I was gonna leave because I knew Trey was tracking my phone. I knew
How'd you know that?
Because he had told me, like,
So, have you and your husband had y'all been arguing about anything? Any other person? Tell me about that, because we'll go back to what happened. But I'm just trying to kind of get a history of you and your husband and Lloyd.
oh, okay.
And
So,
I'm trying to kind of get
Trey
another.
didn't know
Trey didn't know what.
that Lloyd existed
Okay.
until the Wild Ruckus Parade in Athens.
When was that?
I think it was like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to it. I had 2 mixed drinks, and I have no tolerance for alcohol. So but that is not the reason I lost my car. The reason I lost my car, like I couldn't figure out where my car was, because when it was time to leave, which was like a long time, you know, like at the end of the night at like, I don't know what time, like 3 a.m., I was like, okay, I drank like a billion things of water, I ate, like enough time has passed, like I can finally drive, right? So I was looking for my car. Couldn't find it because I don't know Athens that well, because Trey doesn't let me go out a lot. He is very against me going out, doesn't trust me, and this is clearly one of the incidents that has led to him not trusting me. But
One of many, many instances, including this one, which Trey disclosed in his interrogation.
We kind of had problems because there was always somebody terrible in her life. I was always trying to do my best to be there. And there was somebody I had worked with in public that we all 3 went to high school. No 3 of us really knew each other, but somehow her and my wife, well, girlfriend at the time, had gotten together and one night, she did come home after hanging out with her, and it was after that she had told me that they went to these guys' house, and she sat on the couch and played video games all night. Yeah. Well, she started immediately acting weird to me after that day, and they had to call the EAP because I was upset. Yeah, she's all I've ever had.
Despite how this makes, well, both of them look, Charlotte continues on, listing over instances where Trey hasn't trusted her, and honestly, it's hard to blame him.
Where were you again?
in Athens, so I go over to somewhere around North Hull Street. No. Lloyd, I asked Lloyd. Once again, I put Lloyd in danger. I asked Lloyd because he was one of the only people who was still around. Everyone else had gone off with their boyfriends, except for like a couple people that I didn't know that well. I asked Lloyd to give me a ride to my car because it was parked somewhere around North Hull Street, and I remember Trey saying, don't go walking around like in front of the housing and stuff, like in the middle of the night. You're putting yourself in danger, you know, because...
So Trey wasn't with you?
No.
You came to Athens.
Yeah.
You were drinking. You were hanging with Lloyd.
No. Yeah.
You have a low tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did Trey know Lloyd that night? You said there was...
So Trey found on my phone, he said that, well, he saw my GPS dot was at Lloyd's house for 2 hours, which is ridiculous.
So he was tracking you on your GPS that night?
Yeah, while we was at work.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought he would be busier. So.
Okay.
But mostly I just wasn't thinking that much. I wasn't thinking through it, I guess, enough.
Okay, tell me what happened. To where your
Yeah, I went to
husband,
Lloyd's. Well, so Trey, so the next day, or maybe it was that night, Trey's yelling at me like, "You were at some guy's house for 2 hours. I saw you on the GPS map," or whatever he calls it the map. I guess he says the map. And I'm like, I was literally at Lloyd's house for literally 15 minutes. I have all my Uber stuff on there where you can see. I get to Lloyd's house. Lloyd played his violin for like 5 seconds to show me the newest song that he's been working on. And then I...
so they had an argument.
Yeah.
Was it in person or was it over the phone?
Yeah, Trey and I argued in person, but he still
When you
had
went
not
home?
met Lloyd. Yeah, when I went home.
Okay.
And I
So
was
he didn't know Lloyd at the time. He just knew you was somewhere
Yeah, this is
for
the
2
first
hours.
time he's ever met
Was
Lloyd.
there a physical altercation when you went home, or was there just a verbal confrontation?
But I was afraid because Trey has threatened me before.
How?
Well, like on the day that I tried on my wedding dress, he found some stupid story I made up about a fictitious guy that I thought like it was a really good story, and I like created anyway. And he found it on my computer because his computer was broken, so I was letting him borrow mine. And he thought it was real, like I was in love with some dude or whatever. So, but it was a story, and because I write a lot, I write things, which is why I can't write anymore, because Trey, like, freaks out every time I write something. So, anyways, so I was like, what's wrong? So, he just seemed so upset, and he drew his gun out. He drove up my parents' street like 5 feet from, not 5 feet, but he was just like yelling, like,
What do you mean he drew his gun out?
Like,
So,
he drew his gun out in the car. He was like waving it around, like pointing it at his head. Like, I mean, I've tried to be so good to Trey. I've tried to live within his rules, and he scares me so bad because I know he's a good person, but he has some issues that he's struggling with. And I've been trying to help him. You know, I've been trying to not piss him off. But I just, you know, I think my mom is really sick. So I guess I broke every rule that night of the Wild Rumpus because I mean, I like chocolate. They had like the chocolate mudslide yoo-hoo thing, and I don't know, like the last time that I freaked out and like got really drunk was like, I guess it was like the deal with my mom because she was sick then too, but I don't know.
okay, so it's pretty cool with knowing that you had a platonic friend by the name of Lloyd 2 weeks ago.
No, he wasn't, because he said that he didn't want me, like, he didn't want me to go out anywhere where there would be guys. His rules were like, no guys, no drinking, no something or other. I don't even remember, but I was like, Trey, literally, these are all the problems I'm having with the rules. On the night of the Wild Rumpus, I followed my friend Christiana to a place where I thought I could park because she said that the parking garages would be full. And also, I didn't know where the parade was, so I wanted to follow her. And I was like, only when we got there did I notice that it was a bad area. Then, Trey had this rule, no walking around Athens at night, you know, without anybody. And I'm like, how am I supposed to walk from the parking garage somewhere? Now I gotta park in the parking garage, like, oh my gosh, it's just like too much. I can't live with all these specifications. And then he's like telling me to like think about what's the safest thing. I can't predict what the safest thing is to do because it doesn't comply with your rules. Like my brain is just like whatever. And I just can't, I was just starting to really like lose it now. Oh.
Now, boundaries in a relationship are important to establish, but they must be agreed upon by both partners in order to actually be healthy. Trey states in his interview that he didn't want his wife alone with other guys. Charlotte claims that he didn't want her anywhere where men were at all. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, and their lack of agreement on the topic unraveled into what you're seeing. And boy, is it a mess.
You say that he scares you so bad. What do you mean he scares you so bad?
It's just like his energy, like just his actions, like I haven't felt like I just feel like he's always just really mad at me and like he doesn't love me and like he's just like this close to just like stabbing. And I don't know what he would do if I mean I guess now I know.
Okay. Okay. So you don't.
Just the way, you know, he's stalking me on my phone. And like, that stupid stalking song from the 80s when that was okay and normal. Well, I guess it's still really okay and normal, seems like. But he was listening to that the other day and he was like, this song is about, somebody.
Which song are you talking about? I can think of
That song, like, I'll be watching you every move you take.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, I've always thought this is so catchy growing up, but when somebody is actually legitimately, I mean, he's stalked me before, but this is a whole new level because he literally knew where I was. He was literally outside watching and burst down the door. Like, it updates every 30 seconds, which he was telling me. Like, my GPS, because he made me share, he didn't make me, but, you know, he requested that I share my location with him, and then he shares his location with me.
Just in general, not tonight, but just in general.
Yeah, and I almost turned off my location tonight. And then I was like, no, he's just going to get super mad at me later on.
So why did you tell him you were going to get something to eat and you would be right back if you were going over to Lloyd's house?
Yeah, because I was going to go to Lloyd's house for like 20 minutes, get some rest, and then leave. I was about to leave. I mean, it had only been like, I don't even know how Trey got there that fast, or maybe I lost track of time.
But you knew that Trey would get upset if he knew that you were going to Lloyd's house.
Well, I told him, I thought I told him that I was going to Lloyd's house because that's where.
You can grab some paper towels or something.
Go ahead, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that I had told Jay that I was going to Lloyd's house and the AI people were going to come over because I assumed they would. I mean, Lloyd's cooking rent, you know. So I guess I wanted to believe that they would and that everything was normal and everything would be okay. Like the last time that I went over to Lloyd's house for food, you know, everybody was there. And it was just like this intellectual thing and it was so cool. And I wanted Trey to end up meeting my yoga people, but only when he was acting right because there's just something off with him, you know.
So how did Trey find out about Lloyd? How did he think he feel? How did he know about Lloyd? Not just the address as to where you were, but how did you know about him? Did you know his name?
Yeah, I told him his name after that wild record scene. Like, I told him his name. I told him that, like, he's connected with my AI people and that, you know, He's just a friend that also.
So you were explaining to him the person's house you were at.
Yeah, I told him. I
was to go right.
Yes. Yes.
And when he was claiming that you've been here 2 hours, that's when you explained to him where it was.
Yeah, and then I had only been there for 15 minutes.
Okay.
This may be shocking, so brace yourself. But Charlotte hadn't been at Lloyd's house for just 15 minutes when her husband arrived. According to her own recounting of the text messages, she left her house right after she got her rabbits put away, which she told Lloyd she did at 5:38. His home was 20 minutes away, and the 911 call wasn't until 7:34. Now, I'm a narrator, not a mathematician, but an hour and a half is a lot more than 15 minutes. However, she has different concerns other than her wonky timeline, and perhaps unsurprisingly, they aren't about her husband or Lloyd.
I don't want my yoga people to know, but I guess everybody's going to know. It's just so embarrassing, you know? It's like,
Okay, so
yeah.
Trey had never met Lloyd, but he knew his name and he knew where he lived, correct?
Because of me.
Okay. So tonight, this evening, you began your dialogue with Lloyd around 5:09, right?
Yeah, there's Christy on this.
Okay.
And she had been afraid for me to come to her Halloween party because she was afraid that Trey would show up. And I promised her that he wouldn't.
Why would she be afraid of Trey?
Because I told her that he was upset, and I mean, plus, you know, I think that she was afraid that he was kind of psycho because, you know, she, all my yoga people are like, you can do whatever you want, you know, like, this is your life, you know, like, so.
So you talked to her about Trey?
Yeah, I told everyone, I guess. I don't know. I think I told Christiana. I think I told Noemi. I had to delete all my messages, obviously, or else Trey would see me talking bad about him, which he says I always do, which is why everyone hates him, which is why he can't be my friend. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm trying to just make it right. Like, I'm trying to get a common understanding between them and between Trey so that, like, maybe they can, like, one day, oh, not anymore, but I was trying that they would one day reach some sort of equilibrium. But it's just not going to happen now.
Okay, so you started the dialogue with Lloyd tonight around 5:09 p.m.
Right.
And you told your husband you're going to go get something to eat and come right back. You all both can check the GPS on each other's phone to determine the location, correct?
Yeah, I should have been looking where he was. I don't know why I wasn't. I should have left earlier.
And you say it's about 20 minutes from your house to Lloyd's house from, what is it, Church Road? And when you got there, it seemed like you had only been there just a few minutes. You just talked a little bit and had 4 ribs, you said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I finished my 4th rib because...
And you were the only person there with Lloyd?
Yeah, I thought that his roommate would be there because he's supposed to be there on... I thought he was there on Sunday nights to get ready for school the next day because they both go to UGA.
Both of them are UGA students?
Mm-hmm. I gotta come in and shoot somebody who's freaking brilliant. Like, no offense to Trey, but come on. Like, what is that? Sick of shit.
Okay. Tell me what happened once you got there and you had your ribs in your head.
So Lloyd kept asking me about training, you know?
Yeah.
I kept looking out the window, like always, because I'm afraid that Trey is going to come up there. And I'm afraid that he is going to kill me and whoever I'm with. Every time I'm...
Now, what makes you think that, though? I mean, you said you had never had any physical altercations. You said that he hasn't met Lloyd. You talked about the rules and that he scares you and that he's having some issues.
Well, he has said before that he would himself and whoever if I ever cheated on him. And that's what he thought was going on when he came over there.
I just want you to elaborate on that.
Me,
Mm-hmm.
and like everything that I am, like everything that I stand for, like the things he says are on that level of
Like what?
like I was gonna invite him to our yoga like vegan Friendsgiving last year, and then I was like, you know what, Trey, I don't think I can invite you because he said he was gonna bring. Now I think he said this after, but like I just had this vibe that he was gonna do something like this. But he's like, yeah, I'm gonna come over there and I'm just gonna bring like a bloody steak and just like throw it on the grill in front of them all. And it's like, okay, a lot of this stuff is so funny, like that's hilarious, you know, but it's really not.
In terms of claiming things that are toxic in a relationship, threatening to murder someone or harm yourself is the most horrible end of the spectrum. Anyone who actually does that is obviously exhibiting dangerous and controlling behavior. But someone who's threatening to throw a steak on a grill at a vegan party? Well, just about every family in America has one of those boomers at their holiday table.
You said you kept asking about Trey.
Oh.
You said Lord kept asking about Trey when you got over there. Y'all had a conversation, you had your 4 ribs, and while you were over there, he kept asking about Trey.
Well, he asked if, I guess he didn't keep asking about him. Like, he kept asking about our relationship, I guess. Not our relationship, but like, he asked me how I was doing, and I told him I had been sad, and I told him it was because Trey was freaking out, and because my mom was sick.
Tell me when everything started to happen. How did that go down?
What do you mean? Like, what happened?
What happened tonight at Louis' house?
Okay, so I was feeling this feeling, you know, I was freaked out.
What do you mean?
I kept looking out the window, like,
And what was that?
is that Trey's car? Are those his headlights? Is he here? I know he's coming.
So describe the house, describe the driveway. Why were you looking out to see if anybody was outside? Were you nervous that he had followed you? Why were you nervous?
I don't know, because I felt
Had he called you?
Trey had said that he wanted to meet my friends, like, he had said that he was going to plan a birthday thing where he would meet my friends.
Tonight?
Not tonight, but like in the future.
Okay, what does that have to do with this though?
Well, I felt like if he saw that I was at Lloyd's house, I'm not supposed to be at a guy's house.
And he already knew where he lived because of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And I swear I told him I was going to Lloyd's house because because I thought he would understand that it was an AI thing, which, you know.
Okay, so you told him you were going. You just didn't tell him that you were going to get something to eat and be right back. You told him you were going to Lloyd's house before you left. So knowing that he didn't want you to go to Lloyd's house from your conversation with him 2 weeks ago, did he have anything to say about that?
No, I had just gotten more ribs, and I couldn't even finish my rib, and Lloyd's laying there on the floor. And I was like, saying something, and then,
So Lloyd is on the floor?
Lloyd's on the floor, laying there.
Just laying on the floor?
Yeah, with his feet up on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here at his table, sitting on a chair, like, eating my rib, talking about stuff, and then once again, I'm the instigator. I'm like, Lloyd, I'm getting really scared. Like, I'm really, really scared. So I got on the floor and I curled up next to him in a ball. So then Lloyd's got his arm around me, like, he was kind of like laughing, like, I can't.
And why do you say you were really scared?
Because I was getting really scared because I just kept getting all these feelings that Trey was out there. Trey was coming for me, like.
So why did you just
leave?
Yeah,
I was gonna leave, but I just wanted like one hug to like get me through, because I knew I was gonna get at by Trey, and it was gonna be a cold, dark, freaking next couple days and shit. And so I just wanted just a little bit of warmth, just a little hug, you know, for like 5 minutes, and then I was gonna go. Well, then Lloyd's like, do you want to just like lay on the couch? Horrible idea. I'm like, I guess Lloyd's maybe in pain or something. I'm like, okay, we'll lay here for like a second. And then I just stopped talking, and I was like, I better not fall asleep. This is what happened last time.
How long were y'all on the couch laying beside each other?
Like,
were y'all holding each other?
No, Trey, Lloyd had his arms around me.
On the couch?
On the couch. Fully clothed. Never done anything. Like, it's not like that. And, Lloyd said, oh, I want cuddles too. You know? Like, friend cuddles, like whatever, which I guess that's kind of borderline, like we probably shouldn't have done that. I mean, obviously we shouldn't have done that.
You had your clothes on too?
Totally like, I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna get some warmth, you know, and then I'm gonna go, you know? And I should have just gone right then, but all of a sudden Lloyd heard something, and he sat up, and I started to sit up, and the door comes open, and Lloyd jumps up off of the couch. I jump up off of the couch, and all of a sudden I see Trey, and he's in his red sweatshirt, and he's screaming at me.
Don't you just hate it when you accidentally lie to your husband, stumble onto the couch with a totally platonic friend, and end up accidentally cuddling them? Platonically, of course. Because you, for no reason in particular, think that they're in pain? Of course, Charlotte's story makes about as much sense as a screen door on a submarine, and her casual attitude telling the story is the complete opposite of how Trey recounts the events.
And I didn't mean to. Like, I will go ahead and say that. There was no intention of me going there to do this. I ended up driving by because I felt bad, and I wanted to see, like, are there a bunch of cars there? There wasn't. There was her car and one other car. And I drove by like 6 or 7 times. And I finally parked wherever my truck was. I don't exactly know what house it was. And I was like, this is wrong. But I need to know for sure. Yeah, she's never been straight with me, and I need to know for sure. And so I locked my trunk, and I walked up, and there were some windows that were kind of open, and all I was looking for was there a table, was there people around, you know, maybe one car picked up a bunch of people.
Right. Where did you park?
It was, or whatever that little side street is going.
Oh, you didn't park in the driveway?
No, I was afraid because if I was wrong, I didn't want her to see me and be mad. I didn't want it to seem like I was jealous. I didn't want to be crazy, you know. I feel bad, and when I have nobody on my side, you know, she blamed me too after the Halloween thing. She blamed me because she said none of her friends wanted here, and it's my fault she has no friends. And so I walked around, there were a couple windows, I didn't see anything, and then I saw on the front porch there was an open window, and then I see her laying on the couch, and he's behind her, and he's got his arms wrapped around her.
Like they're sitting up, or?
No, they're laying down.
Oh, okay.
Were they clothed?
They were clothed. I opened the door. And as soon as I opened the door, they both jumped up, and the deer that like looked. Yeah.
It was locked or open?
It was unlocked. And I initially just wanted to yell at both of them. And I looked them both in the eyes, and then she said, he's just a friend, he's just a friend. And I think I said something along the lines of, you don't do that with friends, you know? Yeah. That's not just school. Yeah, no, you're totally right on that. But yeah, they looked at me, and Charlotte started, like, saying stuff. I don't even remember what she said. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I didn't think as dumb as it sounds, everything went in slow-mo at that moment, and it felt like I had no control over any of it. Like, I was being forced to watch it, but I didn't. Yeah. Yeah, imagine that. And I pulled the gun out and I pointed it at him. And,
where was he at the time?
they were still, if you walk in the front door and the couch is off to the left, I had taken 2 or 3 steps in the front door, so they were still in front of the couch.
Okay. They were getting up.
Well, they had jumped up as soon as I came in. And then there was another couch with a violin on it, and Charlotte started yelling at me. Like, I don't remember what she said, but she was screaming. And she started grabbing at me, and I will say I pushed her, but I was afraid the gun was going to go off because she was clawing all over me, and I was scared, and then he bolted, and I don't know, I didn't even aim it, I was holding it out like that, and I know 2 or 3 rounds, I know 2 or 3 went off, and
inside the house or outside?
Inside the house. He was running out the front door, and then it was immediate, oh my God.
So when you were shooting him, he was running away?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times did you shoot?
2 to 3 times.
Okay.
Like I said, he was running. I didn't even aim. My arm was just kind of out.
So you didn't have a physical confrontation with him at all? You didn't touch him or anything?
I pulled the gun on him initially, and then he took off. And when he started running, it scared me, and I don't know, like I said, it was still just that situation where I'm watching it happen, but I felt like I didn't have any, like you're almost outside your body. I don't know how to explain it, like, you know, it's like, obviously, I know I'm a person, I know what I'm doing, I should have control, but I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything on my own. And he ran out, and I was like, oh my God.
How far away were you when he was running away and you were shooting?
Maybe from me to you, maybe roughly.
Okay.
When he got to the door, it may have been another couple of feet, I'm not 100%. I was more towards the right by that point.
Was he ever outside when you were shooting?
No. The only shot that was fired while he was outside and I was outside, I didn't know where he was, but I shot the window out of my truck. And I did it because I immediately felt bad. And as dumb as that sounds, that's why I called y'all. I immediately felt bad. I feel like shit. I cannot believe that I did this. And my life is over. Like, and everybody keeps saying you can come back. No. If he's going to be okay, at a minimum, I know roughly charges that I'm facing, and I know what will happen to me. I know. If he's okay.
Police know how Lloyd is at this point, but disclosing that information could limit the amount that Trey is willing to say in the interrogation. While Trey, despite having committed a heinous crime against Lloyd, appears worried, someone else doesn't seem to share his concerns.
He started screaming, "You cheating!" And I kept saying, he's a friend, it's not like that. And he was like, you've been lying to me. And he said something like, I think he said you hurt me at one point, but maybe that was outside when he said you hurt me so bad. I'm not sure. But he was yelling at me about something. I don't know. I think that was what he was yelling about. But he
I guess I know what happened. Well, he, like, just take your time and think about what happened.
Just take a big deep breath and take a second to kind of play through it in your head like a movie, and then pick up there.
So, I mean, once I got up off of the couch and he was yelling at me, somehow, I mean, I'm trying to think where Lloyd was during all of this, but it's not really clear. I think Trey had shoved Lloyd.
So he came
or
in,
something.
your husband screamed at you and you were cheating and...
Uh-huh. And he said, I saw you. I was looking through the window and I saw he had his arm around you. And I was like, it was just a hug. He's just a friend. It's not like that. And I don't know if he was shoving Lloyd or something, but Lloyd was still over there by the couch, I think. But I could tell Lloyd was trying to get to the door.
Okay, the front door?
Which was still open. And I was still trying to tell Trey that Lloyd was just a friend, and I was like pushing on him with my arm. And Trey got me on the other couch and he put his hands around my neck and was screaming, Eugene, all this shit. And I guess he had put his gun away to do this to me.
Well, tell me where the gun was when he pulled it out. At what point did he pull the gun out?
I think he had pulled it out after he realized that, I guess Lloyd was lingering right here.
No, don't guess, because you were there.
Right. Okay.
You're not on
I was looking at Trey.
Okay, that's fine, but you're not on any drugs. You're not on any type of medication that should alter your thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So just, like Detective already said, just don't be so rushed. It's easy when you're not under the influence, and if you're telling the truth, to go from A, B, C, D to the Z, sequential orders. Just think about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're not here to try to make you say anything, but did he come in with the gun already in his hand?
I kind of feel like it was like out like this.
You kind of feel like...
No, let me ask you, let me reword it a little bit. At what point were you first able to see a gun?
I saw the gun after. I mean, I thought I saw the gun before he got me on the couch. But I'm not sure.
What point? And we get, like, just a chaotic event.
I saw him reaching for it or something.
Or, you know,
I want you to try to be exact.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about, this is very serious. You know, this kind of maybe stuff. You were there. You and Lloyd were there.
Right, I was there.
Okay. So, was the door unlocked, or do you know?
Yeah,
because
Lloyd doesn't lock his door.
So it was unlocked, but y'all were really afraid. You were really afraid because you were looking out, but the door is yet unlocked.
Right.
You didn't lock the door.
Well, it's not my house. I don't want to walk myself in anywhere, ever.
Yeah, but you're afraid of your husband, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't feel so afraid that you didn't lock the door.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
no problem.
Yeah, because the last time I was at Lloyd's house, I had the same feeling, and Trey didn't show up.
But Trey didn't knock at the door? Okay, he just comes in. Now, do you remember if he had a gun?
I mean, there was a noise at the door, like he hit it.
You gotta hand it to the police here. They're dealing with two of the most frustrating witnesses ever. One, the murderer, who has a classic blackout excuse, and the other, who can't say a single sentence without I think or maybe.
Did he ever physically touch Lloyd or anything?
I think he shoved Lloyd. He shoved Lloyd, and he kept trying to shove me down next to Lloyd, like he was gonna execute us both on the floor and then kill us. I don't know, that's me speculating. But
Y'all were on the couch at the time when he came in.
While we were getting up out of the couch.
Y'all were laying on the couch when he came, right?
Right.
What do you mean getting up? Like that's on the couch
When
when he
we
came in.
saw it opening, we were getting up. But yeah, when we were,
Yeah, Okay.
yeah, we were on there.
And y'all were holding each other when he came in, right? Or no?
We had already started. I mean, I guess I don't think his arms were still around me. Like, I think he heard him and was getting off of the couch.
Okay. So he's talking to you when he first comes in, and he shoves Lloyd, and then he takes you to the other sofa. You said that's in the living area, right there.
Yeah, it's like right in front of the door.
And he puts his hands around your neck.
Yeah, but it's weird because, like, every time he's ever done that, other than then, like, not in a threatening way, in a way, he will do it, like, hard. But
So he wasn't doing it hard
he
tonight.
wasn't doing it hard.
Okay.
Like, almost like he wasn't going to do anything. Like, he was just doing it to scare Lloyd, I guess. I don't know.
What was Lloyd doing at the time?
I think I saw Lloyd behind Trey at the time, but I would hope Lloyd was trying to escape.
I just want to know what you saw.
I thought I saw Lloyd, like, here's Trey, like, whatever, trying to pretend he's gonna strangle me, screaming at me. But I mean, he was legitimately upset, so I don't know why he wouldn't be strangling me at that point. But I feel like, okay, I don't know, because it's like peripheral vision and I'm mostly focusing on, like, what am I gonna do about this Trey in my face right now? Like, I'm not sure if I was really focused on what Lloyd was doing.
Okay, that's fair.
But why else
Was he
would
still in the room?
he still be there? Yes, he was definitely there.
And did he hit Trey or anything? Did he have a weapon in his hand or anything? Okay. So when Trey had his hands around your neck, did he have the gun in his hand at all? No,
Must not have.
Okay.
So I guess Lloyd could have got the gun then too, while Trey's back was turned. But Lloyd's not like that. I don't think Lloyd.
So after he shoved Lloyd and he put his hands around your neck?
I think he shoved Lloyd.
Okay.
That's not something I can fully say. I think he shoved him. I don't know. After Trey had, like, his little fake strangling scene going on, he had got up because I think he had seen that Lloyd was escaping behind him. Mm-hmm. Now that he no longer had Lloyd distracted and worried about me or whatever. Which is kind of flattering. Like, Lloyd should have run. He should have been like, F this girl, I don't even know her hardly, and I don't care if she gets strangled, and how dare she bring this guy, like he even said before Trey came over, are you gonna get me murdered by your husband? He literally said that before we got on the couch. I forgot to say that. And he was laughing, and then that's when we got
y'all were just platonic friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, but, I mean, we're friends, but he knows that Trey's crazy. But, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that just, I mean, literally whenever Lloyd says that to me, I don't know how to respond, because I literally...
No, he says it often.
He has said it before. He said it the first time that I told him that I couldn't see him anymore because Trey was tracking my phone.
How often did you see Lloyd?
I've only seen Lloyd like 5 times, like at his house. But then when we're out, like when I'm gonna meet my yoga people, like I'll see him out. Okay. So I would say Lloyd and I have hung out like 10 times.
Okay.
And I've known him a year.
Okay.
You
I'm
know,
sorry, I
it's
didn't
not that
interrupt
much.
you. Continue to tell me what happened.
So Trey, you know, whatever, the strangle Lloyd, I guess I think I know Lloyd was still in the house, and at that moment, he was trying to escape out the door behind Trey because I could still see Lloyd when Trey drew his gun on him, and Lloyd had his back to him and was running out the door.
Charlotte recounting these events like a valiant tale, where Lloyd is the knight trying to protect her, is pretty sickening when you know the truth of how this story ends. Not only does she stop to say she's flattered that Lloyd stayed in the room and didn't abandon her, but she chuckles at the fact that Lloyd had enough foresight to be concerned about Trey doing something to him. And despite the very real fact that Lloyd was a horrific victim in this event that didn't need to take place, Charlotte chats about it like she's gabbing with her friends at the nail salon. Trey's insight into what happened is much more dramatic.
I went to the door still with a shotgun because the worst thing I wanted was the two worst things I wanted were to be a y'all to shoot me because for two reasons. One, if I didn't die, but two, I don't want anybody bearing that responsibility, and that's why I told y'all to dispatch too. I would not hurt a single one of y'all, which obviously y'all can't trust, but still. I would never hurt any law enforcement or anything like that, and I wanted to make sure that, but I was still pacing all around, and I happened to walk by his bedroom, and I looked in, and there's his bed, and there's and all this stuff on the side, like on the table.
Or when you're in the house waiting for the 911 to show up.
Before I surrendered.
Okay.
And that's just it's hard to see.
Yeah.
You don't just have that stuff. I mean, even if he's just masturbating, you don't have
Right.
You don't just have them right there. I mean, you roll around in your bed, that stuff's gonna get everywhere and it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
She was prepared.
Yeah.
And I was just so upset.
We should note that there is no conclusive evidence that Charlotte was having an affair with Lloyd. Both his family and Charlotte have vehemently denied claims that any romantic or sexual relationship was taking place between the two.
And around the same time, Lloyd was running out the door. He said Trey shot him as he was running away.
I didn't know that he actually succeeded at shooting Lloyd, but I saw because the light was not on in the porch.
Okay.
But I saw the fire coming out.
Okay.
And I saw it, but he did it 4 times. I cannot believe he did that. Who did that? He literally shot at somebody. Oh, I remember him saying before he shot Lloyd, and while he was trying to throw me to the ground, I remember him saying that he was gonna go to jail for the rest of his life because of me or some shit like that.
You said he said that before he shot? Or after?
I think it was before. Could have been after, but I'm pretty... Yeah, it was before, because that's why I was thinking he was about to throw me to the ground with Lloyd, like, you know how you see in the movies, like, get on the ground, and then, like, both of them, and then, like, you know, like, I was like, he could literally do this in a second and not think about it.
And what did he say again?
He said he was going to go to jail for the rest of his life because of me. I don't know if he said it was because of me. I don't know if he said... I mean, I think he said that. I knew that sounds bad. I mean, I was afraid at that moment that he was about to kill us, and then kill himself. And that's why I was thinking, why he's trying to shove me down, why he's got a gun, why is he saying this, you know? But, and then it occurred to me that I was hoping he didn't mean that I was hoping he didn't mean that he was going to kill somebody. Anybody. Not me, not Lloyd, not himself.
nobody, you know.
What happened after your husband was shooting in the direction of Lloyd? What happened after that? And you were having to you had him against the wall. I mean the door, excuse me.
Yeah, I had him against the door frame and then I mean, I guess he like got out of my, or I left in my, I don't know. Something happened where he is out on the porch now. And I'm with Trey and it's pitch black and he, as far as I know, still has a gun, I'm not sure.
Did you see Lloyd at that time?
Lloyd was not out there. He was on the phone with the cops in my car because I'm like, I'm going to leave right now before he shoots me. But then I'm like, am I fleeing the scene of a crime? Because
So
now I know a crime has been committed because Trey has shown me the blood.
Okay.
Therefore, because of Trey always talking to me, I realize, despite all my ignorance of all the laws and everything that's going on, that might get me in trouble. So, I'm like, I'm going to freaking die. I'm going to get shot because I don't want to break this law that Trey has. Whatever, sorry. Anyways, I'm sitting there, I hear gunshots. So then I start screaming at the dispatcher.
So you were on the phone with dispatch when you heard the shot?
Yeah. So I thought he had shot himself.
But you couldn't see him, you didn't really know where he was.
I didn't really know, but I thought that I saw the shadow of him in the truck through like the headlights, like, you know, I don't know. So I'm trying to tell it. So then all of a sudden, I see a flashlight behind my car. I'm like, oh, good. It's a police officer. And then I'm like, that's the flashlight on his gun. And he's pointing it at the back of my head. I'm looking at him in my rearview mirror through the glass. I start screaming at dispatch, I'm gonna die. He's gonna shoot me. And it's all your fault. And I totally apologize to her for that because it's totally not her fault. So I'm trying to stay there at the scene. So I get out of my car. Because at this point, I'm like, you're not gonna shoot me in the back like you shot Lloyd in the back. I'm gonna face you. Like, I'm sick of his shit. So I go over there. Now, I start walking slowly towards him. So he comes, we end up, like, in Lloyd's driveway still. The car door is open. The lights are on. The lights are on, so, like, you know, you can see the porch, you can see the driveway. Yeah, and my door's open, like, the lights to the car are, like, on and everything. Why is this important? This is not important. Anyways, yeah, it's important, because that is how I saw that Trey now has a shotgun and a gun. Okay? Not good. So, at this point, I forget that dispatch exists, nor do I care. I'm just focused on Trey right now. So I'm on him again. Holding him. I'm like grabbing him.
So,
no, I wasn't. Yeah, I was grabbing him.
Trey is like behind your car. You get out. You see that he has a shotgun and the gun that he had when he shot at Lloyd.
Yeah.
Did he have a gun in one hand and then a shotgun? He had both of them. Okay. And you didn't want to run. You wanted to still confront him.
Yeah, because I knew I had to get him away from my car to escape anyways. Because I'm not going to be able to run. He's got a freaking shotgun. I mean, actually, it's not that good of a shot. I could have run.
The main character energy here is off the charts. Sadly, despite her confident claims that her husband's a bad shot, when detectives leave her alone, she uncovers the truth of Lloyd's fate in a Facebook post.
Ted, I was looking at Lloyd's Facebook page, and I'm worried that he died. his mom posted something that was like 32 minutes ago, like she had been writing all this stuff, and then 32 minutes ago she wrote, "He's gone. His dad is making arrangements." What does that mean? Are you serious? Lloyd died? This can't be real. It is at such close range. This is my fault for getting him involved. Well, he was just trying to stand up for me. He was just trying to tell me to have a good life and to do what... Oh my God. This cannot...
Hey, I'm Detective Johnson. I haven't spoken with you yet, but I was over there. I was talking to Trey, and he wanted me to tell you to call Krista and Donnie and visit him. Come visit him. I guess so those.
I just found out that dude died. I just found out Lloyd. I don't know if it's not. Did he die?
Yeah, he did. They couldn't save him.
I just saw it on Facebook that it said 38 minutes ago.
What did it say? Or what kind of
His
Facebook
mom
page?
posted on Lloyd's Facebook.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess the doctors couldn't save him.
How many times was he shot?
That I don't know because I haven't been out to the hospital. But
what am I gonna do?
I don't know. I can't really.
I just can't believe this. I don't know what to do. I don't want to do anything Trey says. I don't want to talk to any of these people. I don't care that I'm living in his house. He just killed the one person that understood me. He killed him. Oh my God.
I'll give you a second.
Charlotte seems in total disbelief that her husband did exactly what she claims she was afraid of him doing, killing Lloyd or harming her. In Trey's interrogation, he still has no idea that he's killed Lloyd, and even then, his regret and the realization that his life is over is strong.
I would give anything right now to just go to the hospital, look him in the eye, and just say, "I'm sorry," even if he says he hates me.
I mean, I believe you 100%.
Now I gotta go. I'm gonna go to y'all's jail and pray that because I was a cop, I get a cell by myself so I don't get stabbed.
I will. I'll call over there for you. I appreciate it. Make sure you're so scared. Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine being in your position. I really couldn't.
I feel like I'm losing everything, and I'm never gonna get to talk to anybody again. And my best case scenario at this point from talking to y'all is probably my best case is at least a minimum of ag assault and probably battery, family violence, or maybe ag assault, family violence if she says, which I'm not disputing. I put it around her throat. I don't know.
But I think she told the other Detective Johnson that there was no pressure. And so I think that's
I don't her back because I had the gun in this hand.
And I mean, so yeah, I mean, really think even really max simple battery family violence. Give that.
But then if y'all wanted to burglary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just kind of.
And I'm afraid I've screwed up my life too much. There's no second chance that I'm going to go away for a really long time.
Well, I mean, it's difficult to predict that,
and everything's going to be gone when I come back.
Tragically, Lloyd did die shortly after he was taken to the hospital on the night of November 10th. Law enforcement discovered him lying on a neighbor's lawn, calling out for help. Ultimately, he died for nothing, and several lives have been ruined in the wake of this brutal crime. Fortunately, it didn't take long for justice to be reached. Trey took a deal, entering a guilty plea to felony murder and aggravated assault. As a result, he will spend life behind bars, with the possibility for parole in 30 years.